Yes, blessings, and welcome forward once again to the Tree of Life. I am Jerome Sage Butler, and we're just carrying on the conversations and the reasonings around just some familiar topics, things that you are very much familiar with, and I'm sure you have your own personal discussions about them all the time. And the purpose of these, vlogs is just basically to get people talking and thinking on different levels and wavelengths, because naturally we are going to do it anyway, right? So. We're just bringing people into that new world of technology, mixing with some of the naturally organic things we do here with all the members of the Tree of Life. Even sometimes you don't see them, but one day we're just going to do a video where you can see everyone, right? We'll just make it be a collective space so you can see everyone. Yes, so we're going to be talking about today about Lucifer, devil, the intrepid, the dark lord, the vanguard of darkness and dishonor and distraction and destruction, the great beast Satan, the ancient evil. Wow, what titles, right? The antagonist in the biblical story, right, the opposite of the hero, the villain, is Lucifer. Lucifer was described to us as the brightest morning star. Similar titles go over the banner of Christ as well too, right? The brightest morning star, he was the head of the choir, the orchestra. He was like choir director, the archangel, the mighty ark, the mighty seraphim, you understand? Powerful angel, right? But it is said that Lucifer, being this bright light, because even the word Lucifer and lucidity, illumination, most of those words are coming from references to Lucifer being a most magnanimous light amongst the heavens, right? But a light that is said to have had a great fall. And one of the things about the story of Lucifer that brings the whole biblical story together is that Christ was said to be the reclamation of what Lucifer ended up doing after he fell, which was basically cause the human species to also fall in its spiritual journey, right? And Christ, or Christ the second Adam, was the reclamation of that. So the story between God the devil and Christ really is the story of the Bible. The dark lord, the great old deceiver, Lucifer, Satan, is the bearer of all things dark, manipulative, egoic, egotistic. It is said that his pride caused a mighty division amongst a wholesome heavenly community. It is said that he asked a simple question amongst the council of his fellow angels. If we are angels made of fire and light, why is it, and that we are in the house of the divine creator, why is it that we follow laws and rules if we are perfect beings made in the house of perfection, serving the house of perfection? So his pride was that rules were for lesser beings, beings that didn't serve beings that did not serve the divine directly. So his pride led him to almost philosophize, organize even his own viewpoint to create better arguments, great debates and such are likened unto Luciferianism, because what it does is creates this sharpening up law, even law, parliament, politics is likened unto Luciferianism. You understand me? A lot of the arts is likened unto Luciferianism. The silver tongue, persona, phenomenon of being this quick talking devil, is associated with trying to rally people to your point of view. It's very Luciferian, it's very self-aggrandizing. So that is a biblical introduction that I have gleaned of Lucifer. My own experiences and perception of Lucifer is the egoic nature in man. That how man can be led by the wrong thoughts, the wrong spirits. How man can let the wrong energy enter him to make him become more dense, more aggressive, more egotistic, more detached, more uncaring. And then you begin to speak only of yourself, the first person. And you're not basically seeing everyone else. And seeing that everyone else is a part of the person that you are. So they are great talented people who think that the world should yield to them because they're talented. They are greatly smart people that believe that the world should yield to them because they're smart, right? They have very powerful military minds, very powerful warrior spirits, and you know, all that kind of a combative minds in the world that think that they should be highly praised because they are so skilled in espionage and they're so skilled in overt and covert ops, you know, and the black ops and all the remote sightings and all the remote viewings and such things. And they feel that they should be praised for it, right? There are great, beautiful women upon the planet that walks around with such beauty that could be even rivaled unto Pandora's beauty, to suggest something so highly aesthetical that it rock heavens, right? But in the great Greek story of them comparing the beauty of their daughter to the beauty of the gods, had brought great judgment upon them. So when you think about the beauty of a woman rivaling the perception of God, it's very easy, because most people would put beauty and what beauty suggests in people ahead of a lot of things in this world, including their life. So you have many women that think they should be praised because they're awesomely beautiful, attractive, and sexually appealing. Yet it is natural that one should be this way, and if one is endowed like unto Pandora, well, you can see what comes out of that box. One must be careful. These things are likened unto Luciferianism, the whole heap of self-aggrandizement in terms of adornment and jewelry and all those things. The overdoing of things is basically lulling the senses, nullifying the senses, numbing the senses, and eventually will destroy the senses. It will eventually destroy your life. So Lucifer, if Christ is the organizer of the house of life in the human temple, which is a living being, then Lucifer is a disruptor of it. Lucifer, Satan, the great beast, the intrepid, is a disruptor of your natural functions, is a disruptor of the harmonics that keeps you in tune beyond the notions of string resonance. It's a distorted chords. It's a low resonance notes, right? It's a dissonance notes. It's a deeply disruptive notes that stir more heavily than they do more light. They don't lighten. They make you more sometimes emboldened until your own demise. Pride goes before a fall. Luciferianism, philosophies of bringing wisdom to the world. Oh, what misguided premises those are, right? But those are again likened unto, again, the brightest star that becomes this great supernova and falls, burns out, burning out their energy into dissipation, right? While the spirit of Yahweh, Yeshua, the Emperor, the Empress, the divine ancestrals, keep you in alignment, keeps the energy organized and cyclical in the house of the living being. The living cosmos is alive. Allow yourself to move from the distractors, from the dementors, the tormentors, from the Luciferian concepts and consciousness of egoistic action and egoistic self-image, behavior and purpose, to something far more harmonious in the body of Christ. Religion and religiosity is to help you grow spirituality. Religion is to help you grow spiritually, but religiosity is a function of how religions react upon life, human life within your society, within even your congregations, within your groupings. So be careful of whose philosophies governs your actual thinking when you're in your religious movement. So whether Lucifer to you is a psychology of being distracted, dishonorable, disingenuous, being dysfunctional, disruptive and disrespectful, or it is also unto us a path of darkness, a separation of the cosmic law, coming down into the realms of man, having an effect intensely, immensely upon us, then one must be very, very, very careful in how we deal with the Luciferianism in our own beings and in the beings around us, because that, likened unto Lucifer, is a self-seeking promoter, is a self-seeking organizing entity seeking souls, seeking energy. Careful of those energy consuming entities, those energy consuming vampires, those energy sucking monsters. Beautiful, gorgeous, immaculate women, immaculate looking women and men, deceiving, destroying, distracting. I am Jerome Sage Butler, on no special mission, on no special interest action, nor on any organized religious entity action, or any secret society action, nor any organized spiritual movement action. I am just a man, living being in the living cosmos, sharing my experience, my experiences, thoughts, behaviors, beliefs, attitudes. Remember, in all things, you are a blessing unto yourself and unto others. So please, just be that blessing, full joy the blessing in the immaculate nature of all things that is harmonious. Harmonious. Harmonious.